Good afternoon. Good afternoon, viewers. Thank you very much for watching Pan Africa Television, broadcasting from the Political Command Center. Thank you, viewers across the continent of Africa. Thank you very much for your patronage. And I want to thank you to take this opportunity for dispatches brought to you by Dr. David Matanga. This morning I was baptized another name. I don't know what they call him. They said Mazi David Matanga. Manzi Dr. David Matanga. Dr. David Manzi Matanga. What? This was name. But thank you very much. That was the breaking news coming all the way from Abuja. You remember this morning we had our correspondents scattered in Nigeria and across Africa who were telling us more about the trial of in the Abuja Federal Court. Bail application has been denied because of a technicality that for the last 4 years, no lawyer made an application to inform the court about the whereabouts of the applicant. There you are, that is Africa for you, and desperate for the best. This afternoon, in the Diaspora Dispatches, which is now, we want to look at the conference in Lisbon and bring about pictures from Lisbon. I think studio, can you bring the pictures of President Uhuru Kenyatta in the Lisbon conference in Portugal of the United Nations Conference on Oceans. As you know, Portugal was one of the countries in the world that colonized and started traveling on sea. And as you are aware, that traveling on sea remains and still remains their biggest, foreign exchange earner. They build ships, they knew how marine works, and therefore it was very befitting for this conference to be held in Portugal. President Uhuru Kenyatta attended this conference and took place as a co-chair of this conference. I want to take this opportunity, therefore, to thank all of you and to thank everybody who has been supporting President Uhuru Kenyatta on the question of the ocean, climate change, and many other things, the ecosystems of the world. If you look at the Indian Ocean, it goes on going away and the people reclaiming more and more land. How long will this take? We don't know. What is affecting it? The temperatures are rising, the waters could rise, and the ice could melt. So this is why we need a study, a careful study of what is changing the ozone layer, which could actually bring quite a lot of difficulties for our future generation. And that is why today I want just to make a small presentation, a takeaway on this question of the ozone layer. But as I was telling you, the breaking news from Nigeria is President Buhari has stuck on his ground as it was. He has instructed the courts to reject the bail application of Nnamdi Kanu, who has been in jail. So the court in Abuja has declined to grant bail to Mr. Nnamdi Kanu. It is sad that this young man continues to suffer in the hands of Buhari's regime. But all regimes don't last long. Tomorrow or the other day or another day, one day and one day. Revolutions have no timetable. Revolutions give a chance. Revolutions erupt anytime. Revolutions take shape. Revolutions, above all, emancipate people. The people of Nigeria will one day emancipate themselves from the political bondage, the yoke of slavery, of dictatorship, from the yoke of mistreatment, torture, murder, defilement, crime against humanity that takes place in this great region of West Africa. West Africa bleeds. Nigeria bleeds from north to south, east to west. The nation is bleeding. A nation of 200 million people would have been a good asset economically for the rest of Africa. But what we find here is plunder, corruption, maltreatment of all nationals of this nation. It is sad that God comes to cry but does not drop the tears on Nigeria. Thank you very much, viewers. I'm so, it is sad, but that is what it is. We knew it, that Buhari spoke in Rwanda and said he can't give bail to a person, and he has made it to his word, but God will make it one day for us. As we sit here, we know very well that several things will not work in place, but one day the people of Biafra will be free and walk free. One day, I promise, one day they will. The suffering has been great. The suffering is no more. But it does happen in situations of this nature. It does happen. It is part of a struggle. That in a struggle you don't give up. You continue struggling. And as I've said, a revolution has no timetable. It erupts. The court in Nigeria has refused to grant bail to Mr. Nnamdi Kanu. Coming back to the topic that we are supposed to do this afternoon, I'll do a takeaway about the ocean conference of His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is attending this conference right in Abuja, in Portugal, sorry, in Lisbon, Portugal. This conference is very important that Kenya is also a maritime state, a state that borders the ocean. And the discussion about the ocean, the ozone layer, the warmth, the water heating, the temperatures rising, the ice melting, which could form floods, the cutting of forests, ecosystem destruction is very, very important subject that every human being must take place and part in it. And as a result, I am myself very happy with the work of President Uhuru Kenyatta traversing the continent, the world, the globe, in search for a better environment for the future generation. You notice that so many diseases have come. We never know because we have tampered with the environment, with the ozone layer, that everything that comes, it is a pandemic. A flu now that comes into the world becomes an international global flu because we have actually not been ever able to contain the temperatures, the high temperature, the seas melting, and our own way of becoming aware of several things that take place. I want to thank all of you that you have supported the president in his effort. Mr. President, while in Lisbon, said, we expect the conference to shift gear from proposals to action, action that is driven by science, technology, and innovation. We expect to hear about sustainable examples of natural-based solutions, he said. President Uhuru Kenyatta was speaking. We expect to understand the linkages between the ocean and the climate change and the land-based actions, such as pollution. We have a lot of cars. In Europe, these cars are destroyed, but in Africa, we keep the cars and we keep on buying them, driving them, polluting the atmosphere, which goes up to heat and then come down to pour on us with torrential rains that destroy the earth and the soil and takes away the soil for growth. And therefore, that's why you find most of the places now, food is not adequate. We don't have enough food. So these are some of the things that we are trying to restrain from taking place. Thank you very much. I want to take a takeaway now. Viewers across the globe, the Oceanic Conference that took place in Lisbon, starting from yesterday, was an indication of how serious it is for the current generation to discuss the climate change that is taking place all over the whole world. Across the continents, pollution remains the big obstacle to a better, free and clean air that would actually make inhabitable subjects stay well, out of sickness, and grow new crops, grow better methods, farm nicely. Farms have become a problem, and therefore there's need to make sure that this soil, this climate does not go to destroy most of us and the future generation. If we don't do it now, we might not be able to do it. If we don't do what is necessary to keep the forests, the ecosystems, if we don't do it to make sure that we clean our oceans, we don't throw the plastics. From the conference that you can see, 80 million plastics, million per year are thrown into oceans. People dump the ocean. The oceans have become a dumping site. But surely, dumping site, the animals that exist in the ocean, we get fish, we get so many other things. We use that water. Some of the water is used. But above all, plastics don't decay. Therefore, we have to find a solution on how to keep the plastics out of our oceans. I was in one of the beaches in Africa, I won't name the country, but you could see from the road outside as you are driving across the bridge, two types of water colors. One color indicates the sewage that is poured into the ocean, and the other color indicates a different pure water. And the people were still going in swimming, but you could see that it is the sewage which is not treated that has been poured in the ocean. And these are some of the things that make human beings sit down to make sure that they correct the mess that we have. I want to thank President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta for having traveled to Portugal, Lisbon, to attend this conference. Since Kenya is one of the maritime countries that has got an ocean as a boundary, we need to study more about the ocean changes and the weather changes and the climate changes that could affect the future generation. Thank you very much. God bless you. Okay.